Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing? Yay! I was like, dang, crickets. Everybody. Woo. All right, so you all heard about knock on the manager or on the sales meeting there. If you have any comments or questions, throw them out there. We were just kind of openly discussing some things. Hey, look, I'm not sure exactly how some of their program works through the qualifications and kinks that would typically have to be for a regular lender. But this is a pretty amazing program for a buyer and seller to get into, that they can sell their home and buy another home with no contingency, and it's only going to cost them 1.25%. That's it. So they're buying a 600,000 they buy a $550,000 home. It's going to cost them, $7,000, and they're going to pay $7,000 in short-term leases. It's going to cost them $2,000 a month, and if for minimum 3 months in a furnished place, it's going to cost them that, and they don't have to go through the hassle, right? They're going to have to pay rent somewhere for 6 months, or 7 months minimum lease at X amount of dollars, probably a couple $100 more than rates, and you can't find a lot of them. It's a little tough. So they're going to end up paying that 1.25% one way or another. If it alleviates the hassle of them having to move and go through all that, it's a great program. Doing this on a build and new build, what's that say? With builder title is even sweeter. Well, the problem is a lot of new builds aren't allowing that. And we were just talking about that too. A lot of new builders aren't allowing outside lenders. And you have to qualify with the builder's lender, whether you use them or not. They want you to qualify with them. And when they see that you have a home to sell, that's going to throw up a red flag, and they're probably not going to allow that. That might get a little sticky. We can definitely try and ask some questions and see, but that might be a sticking point. But for all of your other sellers, that's a great program. So it's a great opportunity, and you can roll the 1.25% into the loan. So if you're able to get a good price in the appraisal, you can roll that 1.25% in. All right, so let's jump in and start our brief agenda. So we're going to do an Apollo Beach Awards luncheon and photo opportunity on Wednesday, April 7th. It'll probably be between 11 and 2. I just got the list of the awards winners and verified everything else, so I'll send an invite out today. I just wanted to give everybody some kudos and congratulations to those that are on the list. So our Centurion winner for the office, Kim Hodgkins, congratulations. Laura Wolf was a Masters Emerald and a Quality Service Pinnacle producer. Ike Samore was Masters Emerald. Amber Mills, Masters Emerald. Myself, and you guys not worth it. Heidi Seddon, Masters Emerald. Carolina Page, Masters Ruby and Quality Service Pinnacle producer. Tenley Kramer, Masters Ruby and Quality Service Pinnacle producer. Brian D, Masters Ruby, Quality Service producer. Jimmy McNally, Masters Ruby, Quality Service producer. John Evans, Masters Ruby, Quality Service producer, along with Kelly Foreman, Quality Service producer, Masters Ruby. Phil Berger was a Masters Ruby. Ray Monahan, Masters Ruby. All of these people did at least $149,000, at least $149,000 in gross commissions or more. Centurion was $280,000. The Masters team was for Team Imagine, Molly, Sarah, and Lisa, and they were also a Quality Service team. Our Quality Service producers were Denise Brendel, Nancy Conley, Jackie Stone, Maritza Ortiz, and then Quality Service producers were Diane Krikorian, Mr. Jim Graff, and Carmen Gilchrist. Congratulations, guys. You guys did an excellent job. So you'll get an invite. Please, please, please RSVP to the invite, because we will have a light lunch, and we're going to have our red carpet, velvet robes, Century 21 backdrop. So we'll do some photo opportunities. If you would like to come and you didn't have an award, that's perfectly fine as well. If you want, what I want you to do is I want you to come in and grab the award that you want and take a picture with it. We'll have our office awards here, and I want you to take a picture with it and say, this is me next year, because that's where I'm going to be standing. And there's a reason why I want you to do that, because visualization is an absolute key thing if you're looking for success. If you can't visualize what you're going to do, you're going to continue doing the same things that you've always done. You have to visualize it, create some emotion. think about this. There's a college basketball team, and they did a study with the university. The college basketball took one group of people, had them not touch a basketball at all. No practice, no basketball, no playing, no nothing. Group 2, they gave them a basketball and said, you're just going to practice free throw shots. That's it. You're just going to shoot free throw shots. It was at least, I think it was like 500 a day. That's all you're going to do every day, 500 free throw shots. Group 3 was, they're going to visualize shooting free throw shots. Never pick up a basketball, not practice, not do anything else basketball related. Visualize shooting 500 free throw shots a day, seeing every single one go in. If you see one miss, you start over. 500 free throw shots a day. Visualize only. Never picked up a basketball. The studies show that the people who did not touch a basketball, when they got them back into the court and had them shoot free throws, had no improvement over their prior free throw percentage. Obviously, they didn't pick up a basketball. They did absolutely nothing. The people who picked up a basketball and did nothing but shoot free throws, 500 a day, 24% increase over that time for their free throws. Now, visualization, the guys who just visualized shooting free throws, guess what their increase was? Numbers? Yes? 15? Not quite. Not quite. Just as good as the people who actually shot the free throws. 24% increase. So the people who visualized shooting a basketball, just visualized in, swish, never picked up a basketball, had the same increase in their free throw percentage over this period of time as the people who actually shot the free throws. Your mind is so incredibly powerful, which is why I did the exercise 2 weeks ago and showed you what your mind does, the things you say to your mind, the things you visualize, things you see. So here's another thing I want you to do. Stand up. Everybody stand up. For those of you who've probably been on a meeting before, you've probably seen this. Stand up. Put your feet about shoulder width apart. If you're online, if I can see you and you're not standing up, I'm going to come to your house and get up off of your seat. Get up. I see you. Mesa Wolf, stand up. Get up. Thank you. Get up. Thank you. There you go. All right. Cool. Feet shoulder width apart. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to stand up. I want you to take your right hand and point it straight forward. Now I want you to reach behind you as far as you can. As far as you can, reach behind you. And remember where that is. Now come back around. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to stand there. Everybody, I want you to shake your body out a little bit. Clear everything out of your body. Get every thought away, everything out. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now what I want you to do is I want you to visualize, and only visualize, taking your finger in your hand and reaching back and pointing as far as you could go, turning even further than you just went, pointing almost back around front and center. Visualize it. See it as far as you possibly can. You're turning, you're turning, you're turning, even further than you went before. Good. All right, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Stand forward. Point your hand forward. Now I want you to turn around and point again. Who pointed further? Who pointed further? Who pointed? All right. Do you want me to do 100 more exercises like that to show you that your brain is very powerful, and your brain and your body does not know the difference? You can sit down now if you would like. Your brain and your body does not know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what is actually real. So the act of going through visualization, the act of creating it in your mind. How many of you, when you were visualizing it, couldn't help and actually turn, your shoulders started to turn? You're like, oh, shit, I can't. I opened my eyes. Maria's doing this. I got this. I got it. How many of you? Exactly. You can't help it. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what you vividly imagine and what's actually real. So what you want to do, come in for the award ceremony. I want you to pick up the award that you want. I want you to stand there and take a photo of it. I'm going to have Susie take those photos and send them to you. And I want you to put it somewhere, make a couple copies, remind yourself and show yourself what you are capable of. And visualize it every day, and visualize the emotions that go with it. Some of us created in our mind, and we actually started turning our body even when we were visualizing. I did the same thing. So I want you to visualize it, create it, but it has to be more powerful than that. There has to be some emotion involved, because the emotion is what creates that magnetism to drawing in those things in the universe. Yes, ma'am. No, you don't have to RSVP if you're just going to come in for a photo. I need RSVPs for people that'll have lunch. There's probably going to be some extra food. There always is. So if you come in and grab, that's perfectly fine as well. But this is for the people that will earn the awards. But I want you to come in. I'll have the office awards like the Centurion Awards, Masters Ruby, and Masters Emerald. I want you to pick those up and take a photo with that and visualize it. It's so incredibly powerful. Most of the time, what are your emotions that you typically feel every single day? 95% of our thoughts are the same every single day. There's studies that show it. 95% of every thought that you have throughout the day is the same, which means those thoughts create the same emotions, which means those emotions create the same actions and responses. So it's no wonder that we feel like we're running the rat race sometimes where everything feels the same. The only way that changes is when you start to visualize the things that you want and you start to create some emotional attachment to the things that you want and you bring in a new emotion. So you need to start creating more than 5% new thoughts every day. So use some emotion to do that. Jumped off my couch. That's right. That's what I like to hear. Okay. So also, like I said, we'll have the Apollo Beach Awards April 7th. You'll get the invite today. We have a food truck Friday. We typically are doing this the first Friday of the month. But because the first Friday is Good Friday and then Easter that Sunday, we're going to do it on the 9th, April 9th. We're going to have that. We will have some flyers. We just confirmed all for me because I'm a fat food lover. We just confirmed there is going to be a dessert truck at the next one. Oh my goodness. It's like you will not believe some of the stuff on this truck. It is amazing. There is going to be a taco truck. So tacos, nachos, quesadillas, things like that. There is also going to be, the bank is bringing back the tacos are life. That's right. We're doing Taco Tuesday on Friday. I don't care. Don't say nothing. I don't want to hear it. So you're going to come out. The bank is going to bring back the Lego My Egg Roll. We are going to have the tacos and quesadillas, and along with I believe it's the same people that have this truck. They're bringing the dessert truck. Woo! It's going to be some good stuff. So what we will do, we're going to create a flyer. I know we're smoking bowls is really good too. We're trying to start mixing it up. So we wanted to make sure that we continually have a good turnout. So we're going to create some flyers this week. Those flyers this week, I really want you to bring them out into your farms. I really want you to go to some businesses and invite some businesses in to come out for lunch. We're also going to get a sign to put in the front that says welcome. Bring it, public, come on out so they don't think it's like a private bank event. Okay. I'm going to get into this Zillow contract in a second. Just reminders, continuing education. If you haven't done it, you got 7-8 days to get that done because we have it by the 31st. If your license expires March 31st, the other ones are September 30th. Floor duty for the month of April. Reach out to Rosa. If you would like floor duty, please send Rosa an email and claim a day and a time. Tell her the days and mornings or afternoons that you would like. You must be present in the building. That is their new policy. We were allowing remote, but it just got to be too much. People were not answering their phones. So you have to be present in the building to be on floor. If you miss more than 2 of those floor duty schedules that you have, if you blatantly schedule something, I've got an inspection, I've got this, I've got that, and you don't get it covered, we're pulling you off the rest of your shift. We're just seeing too many people not have the respect to at least fulfill the obligations that they set forth. I just think that's fair. We are getting back onto our accountability farming class this Thursday at 1 o'clock, so please come on for that. I know we don't have a ton of new stuff, but does anybody have any new listings that they want to pitch? Oh, so nice you to turn your camera back on now that I'm not going to call you. Yeah, I see you. I'm looking at you. Right there. That's right. Yes, blue shirt, blonde hair. I see you. Just kidding. But so does anybody have any new listings they would like to pitch before we jump in? Because I'm going to start covering a Zillow contract. Zillow is buying homes. Zillow is making offers on homes. They're in our market. When you buy a Zillow home, they have their own certified contract. It's not a FAR bar. It's a Zillow contract. It's one that they want. There's not too many differences. It's very similar to the FAR bar with some minor differences here and there, days here, days there, but there aren't any major rights and obligations that have been removed. There she is. Hi. How are you? Oh, I know. As soon as I sign off of this meeting, I'm going to get my butt whooped down the back hallway. Anybody new listings they wanted to pitch? Going up. I need you to talk into the microphone. So the other one's not working, so this one actually working.
Okay, I'm going to have a new listing coming on the market on Thursday. It's going to go live. On Thursday, it's going to go live. It's in Panther Trace, Valentor. It's a nice home, front porch, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Got a nice screen lanai in the back. I think we're going in the 270. We didn't settle on the price yet, but somewhere in the 270s. Okay.
Anybody else? No. Anybody else with a listing they want to pitch? No. Buyer wants, buyer needs. Cool.
I have one.
Go ahead. Talk about it. Tell me.
Okay, I have a little condo. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Great. Brian and I have a little condo at Val Harbor Condominiums, which is a 55 plus community. It is waterfront. It is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. We're going to have it. We have photos done today, and then it'll come on the market for $182,500. It has been redone as far as the kitchen, the flooring, paint, that sort of thing. It has a little pavered patio out back, and there is room for a boat slip at Val Harbor for every owner. So if they wanted one, they would just have to apply. It would be approved, and they could put one in. So that's it.
Excellent. Thank
you.
That is a minimum lease restrictions are 90 days, so you can still rent that out if you had somebody that was looking for a place. Hey, I want, instead of spending money every month on a marina and putting your boat on a boat slip somewhere like that, buy a condo, rent it out for a year, and put your boat there for free. So the boat needs to be titled in either the owner or the person on the lease. So it's something that you can think of, and now they don't have to pay for a place to keep their boat.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, Zillow. I'm going to jump into this Zillow contract here. So what they did is they put together a real estate purchase addendum, and it's not majorly different. I'm just going to point out some of the differences and what you want to pay attention to. Zillow says that they're paying for title and they'll pick the closing agent, but if the buyer wants to pick the closing agent, they can, but Zillow will still pay for it. It doesn't say that the buyer has to pay for it. So if you wanted to, you could, but it's probably easier just to use their title company. All structure and improvements. So this is the personal property type line. There is no personal property line. This says all structures and improvements together with lighting, fixtures, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, air conditioning, and other systems and fixtures are attached, are included. And so they're in the real property. That's a difference there. It doesn't list a bunch of the appliances. If you wanted anything specific, you probably want to make sure you write it into their additional terms just for clarity, but that is their personal property line. It does say that any of the smart home equipment that's in there will be removed, except for an electronic deadbolt that they put on. That's one difference. This is key here for anybody who has a loan. Our FAR contract has the CFPB requirements put into it. So it says that your buyer's protected and the contract will extend up to 10 days to meet the CFPB requirements of the closing disclosure being delivered 3 days prior to closing. This says this closing shall not be extended for anything related to the buyer failing to comply with any provisions which include the obligation to timely sign any loan documents. So your buyer has no CD protection. You are not going to be able to extend this because of the CD not going. Just for a federal contract, it's not a federal contract. You can write any contract you want. The lender is required to do that for the buyer. The seller is not required to accept it. What the FAR contract does, because it's a Florida Realtors and Florida Bar contract, is it tries to make it amicable and pull that in to give protections because they know that the lenders have to do that. But if you have your own contract, you don't have to. The seller doesn't have to agree to it. The lender has to meet those requirements. The contract just says the lender has to meet those requirements, and we don't want to damage the buyer because of that. Zillow says, I don't care. This additional financial terms, it just takes some of the costs and put them in one spot. So you list them all out and the total concession that the seller is going to have to pay towards any of these. There's your contingencies, which contingencies you have, you're going to put them there. This is the title. Within 5 business days after the effective date, they're going to give you title. So basically, they want to use their title company because they've done all the title work. And if they've done all the title work, they can give you a title commitment within 5 days of the effective date. And then you have all the time after that to start reviewing, and you've got your normal time frames, 5 days to review and reply and tell them if there's an issue. And it says that they will do their best to get you any documents related to the HOA plan community documents as well. So you can make sure that you request those because it says they will give them to you within 5 days. Inspection period calls out that there's a deadline of 5 p.m. and it is 10 calendar days if left blank, not 15 like the FAR bar. I don't know who's still doing 15 or who's still writing contracts with 15 days, but they're not getting any contracts. But they're giving a deadline of 5 p.m. So this does call out the 5 p.m. So if you use this contract, make sure you know that. This also says that they can additionally agree to repairs. So it's an as-is contract per se, but it says that in addition, if Zillow and the buyer agree to repairs, you do it on this form, and doing so will extend this period for up to these 5 additional calendar days to accommodate for initials and everything. That's our biggest issue that people using an as-is contract. You request repairs on the last day of the inspection period and the seller doesn't get back to you. And you're like, oh, I asked for repairs. We're fine. No. Your inspection period ends. The contract says nothing like this about requesting repairs, waiting for resignature. I already fulfilled. It does not say that. This contract is clear and it says that if you do that, we will extend up to this amount of days to allow for that to happen. Proof of funds, Zillow can request within 3 business days. Zillow can request proof of funds within, and you have to provide it within 3 business days. So, yeah, and it doesn't say with a cash deal or not. So if you're getting a loan and they want to ask for the proof of funds for the down payment, it says they can ask for it. And you have to provide it within 3 days. If you're doing a cash deal, getting it from somewhere, and you've given them proof of funds and they ask for it, you have to give them another proof of funds, an updated one within 3 days. Just make sure you're aware of that. This says buyer shall use best efforts to ensure any loan documents delivered to the closing agent at least 2 business days prior to closing. Our regular contract does not say that. This says that your buyer will do that, make every effort to do that. Who determines what best efforts are? So we hope we never get to that. If any apportionments and prorations cannot be calculated accurately based on actual figures on the closing date, then they will be calculated based on seller's good faith estimates thereof and will not be reprorated. Will not be reprorated. Right? Our contract says that if the buyer thinks that the prorations were incorrect, once something comes back after closing, they can go back and work something out with the seller if they thought it was off. This says they will not be. Just may be very clear on that. The property disclosure statement is just different. It says that we've never occupied the property and your buyer waives any right to receive a completed property disclosure statement. And then it just goes on to talk about you're going to accept any standard disclosure statement. They will give you something for everything that they know of the property, but only once you're under contract, and they'll do it within a period of time after the effective date. 5 business days after the effective date, you'll get a disclosure statement of some kind of everything they've done. But you're waiving your right to receive any type of seller's property disclosure statement. Attorney's fees, everybody's responsible for their own. The FAR bar says that the other party can be responsible for attorney's fees. This one says everybody's responsible for their own. The buyer cannot assign this contract. It's written in, but the seller can. It says the seller can assign this contract to another party, their business. They've got multiple businesses in different states. They can assign it to one. Notices. So this was kind of neat. Notices sent by personal or overnight courier service or mailed by certified or registered mail are deemed to have been given when received. So a notice is given to the party as soon as the party receives it. Notices sent by email are deemed to have been given when sent. All right. So this says that the minute they send you an email, you have been notified. because they know electronic delivery goes through electronic delivery and it's going to get there unless they put the wrong information in. If they put the wrong information in, it wasn't sent to you, so you didn't really receive it. But if they send you an email, it says it is received when they send it. They're adding gender and number. It basically says feminine, masculine, all neuter, anything is all, it's all the same and included. So, a buyer is not dictated. So they can't come back and say, well, this says this and I'm not a male or I'm not a female. They're putting that in there. So it does put that in for clarification. So all parties are bound no matter what. Customer surveys. This is kind of important. If you don't want your buyer to have to do this, don't put their email on the signature page, because it says by providing the email address and phone number, buyer hereby agrees to participate in up to 3 customer surveys from the seller during 1 year following closing. So you have to give Zillow a customer survey. Not bad. You can tell them how much they suck. Then they build in their contingencies. This is all part of their contract. Exhibit A attaches to this contract as a contingency addendum. So you have a financial contingency. It says within 3 days, your buyer is going to submit a completed loan application. And within 14 days, you will receive loan approval. 14 days. Our contract says if left blank 30. This says if left blank 14. Is this a problem? No, not really. Depends on. So don't get me wrong. I think the buyer probably wants more, but I don't think it's an issue, because most lenders should be able to get a loan approval in 15 days. But what we have to figure out is, what are they deeming loan approval? Because a conditional loan approval is written evidence that they've obtained financing. We are giving you financing. What they want to see is this. Here's your conditional loan approval. You have 14 days to get loan approval. Here's your conditional loan approval. If you get these conditions, we're giving you your loan. They want the buyer to make a decision then. I can fulfill those conditions. Not, I don't know, I'm going to try. And day 29, they cancel because they can't fulfill it. It doesn't say that, but when you talk to a lender, here's a problem. Our FAR bar contract, you ask a lender for loan approval, they have no idea what you're talking about. You mean loan commitment? No, loan approval. Well, do you want loan approval or do you want loan commitment? Huh? They think loan approval is your pre-approval and your conditional loan approval. That's what they deem loan approval. They deem loan commitment once everything's done. We're committed to giving you this loan now that you've given us all this stuff. So loan approval technically is the conditional loan approval when you talk to a lender. Doesn't clarify. Well, that's what Zillow is saying. I don't want you to take a chance on me that you're going to clear those conditions. This is what your time frame is for loan approval. We've written in 21 days, 25 days into these contracts. We've done about 5 or 6 of them so far, and they've accepted them. So just write in the time frame that you want. 21 days should be more than enough to get a loan approval, especially if you're trying to do a 30-day closing. It does go on to say, though, our FAR bar does not say you need to have a official loan denial. It doesn't say you have to provide them a letter of denial. It says you just have to cancel during the loan approval period. This says you need to send us the written cancellation along with a copy of the denial letter from the lender. So that's clear. It gets a little clear. Appraisal contingency just written in here. Sales contingencies. So the sale of a property is in here. I like it the way they do it, because they do option A is the home needs to sell and close. And if it doesn't sell in the first 14 days, I can cancel you. And option B is it just needs to close. I like the home to sell, home to close contingencies. I like them separated. I don't like them together as a seller, because a home sale contingency means my home is going on the market and I'm locked up, even if it doesn't sell, for the full term of that contingency. I want to have an out if your home doesn't go under contract in 14, 15 days. How are you going to close on it in 30 days if you're not even under contract in 15? And you're not paying cash, you're getting a loan. It's almost impossible. I want to have an out. So I don't mind these in here. It just really, it doesn't hold the deal together for your buyer, but it gives clarity to the situation and makes it more clear. So I like having them separated. And they have an affiliated business because they're asking you to use their title company. Permits, this says that except as may have been disclosed to seller or buyer in written disclosure, seller does not know any improvements in property which are made without required permits. If they find out about anything, they will give you everything they have related to it, but will not close the permits out. So if we find out that anything was done without permits, or we find out that there's an open or expired permit, if I have information, I'll give it to you. I'm not doing shit with it. I'm just going to give it to you. You deal with it. I'm not required to close it out. And these are just more disclosures, very similar to a regular contract. And then this is their Schedule 1. This basically clarifies who pays for what fees. So real quick, brief over with that. If you need help with one, if you're going to write an offer on a Zillow, go ahead, yes. They're the owner. Zillow owns the home. Zillow owns the home, and then Zillow contracts these people, 54 Realty, and they use them for all of their home sales. What Zillow does is they don't just go buy homes. Most of the time, what they're trying to do is they say they don't want to buy homes. They will, but they say they don't want to buy them. They're trying to create listing opportunities that they can sell to people. So this company is buying leads through Zillow, and they're giving them listing opportunities. They basically make a listing agent go present Zillow's offer. Now Zillow's giving it directly to the consumer. This was how it was supposed to go. So this is just not deceit, but is what they said. We're never going to do that. We're going to give all the offers to a listing agent. Our job is not to buy the home. Our job is to make sure that you get the listing, and you paid for the lead. We're going to do that. So the listing agent was supposed to go present the offer, tell them what their home is really worth, get the listing. They paid for the lead. Zillow is now, you go online, you punch it in, you can get an offer from Zillow, just like OfferPad. So what they're doing is they're buying these homes, and they've contracted with this company to list all of their homes. So you always be dealing with 54 Realty. There may be others around the area, but they're just starting in this market. So we're seeing, like I said, I've already seen about 6 or 7 of these with people writing contracts. No, not necessarily. That's why they want to be able to assign their contract, because they own. Any good business doesn't do it all in one business name. They separate everything out, have different entities. So they're buying in Florida, they buy under one business name in one area. They may buy under another business name in another. And when funds, revenue, whatever, get to a certain point, and they're trying to maneuver them around to either save on taxes, make reporting look better for whatever it is, they move things around to different companies. So they'll assign it to another company, and it'll be harbored in that one. Okay. So there's no FHA on most all of these until 91 days because of the 90-day seasoning rule. Please don't use the owner's name in public record, because public record more than likely has not updated. Zillow buys the home, fixes it up, puts it on the market right away. So the seller's name that's in public record is not going to be correct. And none of these things are warranted. Pool, refrigerator, washer, dryer, irrigation, they're saying we're not fixing any of those things, just so you know, none of this is warranted. You can add a home warranty to anything. Your buyer doesn't need to have it on a contract to buy a home warranty. Your buyer can buy a home warranty and just tell the title company your buyer's going to buy a home warranty. Yeah, that was one of their contingencies, one of the concessions right here. Buyer closing costs, HOA fees, home warranty, if you're asking them to pay for it. So you won't, with these people, see, this is different. You can call the listing agent, but that's why they put this. You can call them. Please do call them and ask them any questions you have. But they put this out. This is their call the listing agent, find out what the seller wants. That's what this is. Offer instruction sheet. Do this, and you'll have the best opportunity to get the offer accepted. This is a business, so there's no emotions. But what does your seller want? When do they want to move? What are they looking at? Would they really like this? No. I own the home. I want you to sell it. And I'm going to take the best offer that's in my hand that puts me in the best possible position to close this as quick as possible, so I get out from under this investment. That's basically it.